After Monday night's tornado outbreak, one family in Greenland says it is very thankful, thanking God, in fact, that they're alive after their manufactured home was ripped apart while they were still inside. 5 News reporter Morgan Wrigley joins us now live from that property. And Morgan, I'm telling you, they're telling you a lot to be thankful for after the scary night Monday night.
Yes, Darren, this right here behind me is where Jacob Van's home sat before he says that tornado on Monday night actually picked it up and slammed it back down over here with he and his wife and their pets were inside. But he says right now he's just thankful that everyone walked out virtually unscathed. Jacob Van has lived on his mother-in-law's property for nearly a decade. Monday night, everything changed in a matter of seconds.
I remember saying, telling my wife, we gotta get out of here. We was gonna try to make it over there.
Inside the home, he and his wife tried to run for cover, but the tornado was faster.
But we didn't even make it through to the kitchen, and I turned around and looked behind me, and my dog and my cat got sucked out the front door, and my wife and I got thrown into the far end of the trailer, but it landed us right into the closet, and I tried to pull a mattress over, but I couldn't even budge it. Everything started lifting up, and so I just kind of laid over. And
the storm twisted and tore through the home, but Van and his wife were okay. Miraculously, their pets returned home after the storm. And in the next house over, his mother-in-law, just feet from danger, also walked away unharmed.
A board just went right through her bathroom, and she just came out and shut the door, and the board went through it, and God blessed us there. Everything happened just in the right way where we could be safe.
Van not only thanks God for their survival, but also for the outpouring of support from friends and neighbors, his church, and his co-workers.
God calms the storms, and he gets us through the storms. He don't cause them.
Now he's working to clean up, thankful for every bit of help and every moment of grace.
Trees can be replaced and regrowed, and stuff it's just stuff. But life and the perspective of life now has changed and a lot better.
Another thing that he tells us he's thankful for is, amazingly, even though a lot of their belongings were sucked out of their home during the storm, he said that all of their important paperwork was still in its folder. His wallet and his wife's purse were all exactly where they belonged. Right now they're staying with relatives with plans to rebuild. Live in Greenland, covering news where you live, Morgan Wrigley, 5 News.
Wow. All right, Morgan, thanks. That EF2 that hit Greenland was one of 9 confirmed tornadoes in the area on Monday. The National Weather Service is confirming 8 other EF1s in Lincoln, Stillwell, Gore, Snake Mountain, Bunch, Oklahoma, Pecola, and in Shady Point. Scott, it's been a lot quieter since Monday. We still, though, have some rain moving in for the Memorial Day weekend.
We do, and I'll touch on that. One thing to add, those surveys continue. While we're at 9 now, I'm pretty sure we'll end up at least at 10, maybe even a little bit higher than that. I'm really waiting on that Huntsville and Marble survey to be completed. Right now, things are quiet. We've had a few showers moving through. Radar seemingly not detecting any of those in our neck of the woods, at least as of right now. Wouldn't rule out a couple more spotty showers this evening, but they would likely be just that, rather spotty in nature. We'll have partly to mostly cloudy skies in northwest Arkansas this evening. Clouds are going to break up overnight a bit, waking up around 55 degrees come tomorrow morning. In the River Valley, overnight low temperatures likely dropping into the low 60s, so somewhat comfortable out there tonight under a little bit more clear of a sky, as you can see live there in Ozark. In terms of what we're tracking over the next several days, a whole lot. Rain chances have only steadily increased for this weekend and even Memorial Day itself. With each distinct round, and there's going to be multiple different waves, there are going to be potential risk when it comes to severe storms. On top of that, we're looking at several inches of rain across parts of the area, so flooding an increasingly concern as well. We'll walk you through how much rain we expect to get and see if we can't find you some dry periods of time this weekend, all coming up in just a few.
All right, Scott, thanks. New at 6, a man from Batesville has been convicted on 2 counts of rape in Washington County. Taylor Jones was sentenced to 26 years in prison today. Court documents show a victim came forward accusing Jones of unwanted sexual contact between 2007 and 2013. when they were a minor. A jury convicted Jones after hearing a recorded phone call between Jones and the victim in which Jones admitted to the crime. He will have to serve at least 70% of his sentence before being eligible for parole. After nearly 2 decades on the run, a man who walked away from the Hamilton Correctional Center in LaFleur County, Oklahoma, is now back in jail. Oklahoma Department of Corrections says Stephen Capps walked away from the facility back in 2006. He ended up in Ohio, where he was arrested again for breaking and entering. Police there, though, never told the Oklahoma DOC about his arrest. After he got out of jail there in 2021, marshals were able to track him down in Muskogee, where he was arrested this month. DOC says Capps has a little more than 3 years left to serve on his original sentence. Supreme Court is striking down a publicly funded Catholic charter school in Oklahoma. It effectively invalidates a vote by a state charter school board to approve the St. Isidore of Seville Catholic virtual school. It would have been the nation's first religious charter school. The Catholic Church in Oklahoma had wanted taxpayers to fund the online charter school, but opponents warned allowing it would blur the separation between church and state. Also new at 6, Fort Smith City directors approved on Tuesday an ordinance to prevent the construction of smoke shops within 500 feet of schools and daycares. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis hears now from 2 board members with different views on this decision.
After much deliberation during Tuesday's Board of Directors meeting, an ordinance to prevent tobacco and vape shops from opening within 1,000 feet of Fort Smith schools or daycares was amended to 500 feet and passed. According to City of Fort Smith spokesperson Josh Bufink, 15 businesses sell tobacco products within 1,000 feet of Northside High, and 2 are within 500 feet. Most board members, including Kevin Settle, supported the ordinance, saying it will help protect Fort Smith youth.
If you're putting a smoke shop literally 40 feet from a high school, you're trying to target those youth, those people that are young and trying to say, hey, come over here.
But board member Christina Katsavis says while she does not support smoking and vaping, this ordinance could affect due process. She sent 5 News a statement saying in part, quote, "Children are not only present at schools, they're in parks, shopping centers, and walking down public streets. If we start regulating the proximity of legal businesses based on where children might be, we open the door to arbitrary and excessive restrictions."
When you have smoke shops that are selling products like cotton candy flavor, fruit punch flavors, those are targeting a certain age demographics.
Katsavis goes on to say in her statement that she believes the ordinance may have been well-intentioned, but it sets a troubling precedent. She says she was particularly troubled by the board's tone in last week's meeting as members discussed the idea of retroactively revoking a legally issued business license. This new ordinance will not impact any existing businesses within 500 feet of schools and daycares, but does prevent any new smoke shops from being built in those locations. In Fort Smith, covering news where you live, Kayla Davis, 5 News.
This Memorial Day, a special ceremony at Fort Smith National Cemetery downtown will celebrate its heroes who've sacrificed our nation's freedom. At the Fort Smith Cemetery this morning, volunteers placed individual American flags to honor the more than 19,000 veterans resting there in preparation for the official ceremony this weekend. Community effort involves local groups like OG&E and First Lutheran School, along with solo volunteers. Participants gather to pay respect and remember the sacrifices made by brave men and women for our country.
Putting the flags out today is a top honor, respect for each one of the veterans that are out here. It's a way to show honor, respect, and remembrance. That's what Memorial Day is about.
By the way, the ceremony at the Fort Smith National Cemetery will be on Sunday at 2 o'clock. It'll feature Purple Heart combat recipient and a previous national commander of the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Carter Ferguson, as the keynote speaker. Volunteers encouraged to return Tuesday to help pick up those flags. Up in Fayetteville, the Mount Sequoia Center unveiled a new overlook today. The popular spot has been undergoing renovations over the past couple of months, including a new observation deck and ways to calm traffic around the area. Leaders, though, at the center say they want people to explore more than just the great views.
Mount Sequoia is more than just this overlook. People can come here, start here, and then come explore the rest of the 26-acre campus.
Along with placemaking grant, the project was made possible with the support of Cox Mobile, the Sprague Foundation, and the Fayetteville Restoration Endowment.